Right, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Can you believe that it is literally like 1:30 a.m. 1:30 p.m. and I have to put my light on. So I'm using my ring light today. In the summer, this would be perfect lighting, but today it is dark and foggy and pretty meh. Today I'm going to be doing an update on my palette. This is my 18-month update, and if you guys have not been following along, essentially what a palette is to basically try and hit pan on every single eyeshadow in the palette. However, my twist on it is hit pan on every single eyeshadow or until I have used the palette 1,000 times. Now each eyeshadow counts towards this, so if I use 3 in a day, that adds 3 to the counter, and I basically add a counter to each eyeshadow every single day I wear it. Without further ado, I'm just going to get right into it and mention what's been happening, and I'll show you guys the progress. So firstly, this is what the palette is looking like now. And I think it is pretty obvious there has been some good progress happening. So, in the last quarter, I think I started working on this shade here, which is called Barley, on the shade here, as my focus eyeshadow, that's the word, focus eyeshadow. But since then, I have also decided every single day that I'm going to dip into one of the following 7 eyeshadows. So you can see we've had some usage in every single eyeshadow now. In the video, you can actually see each eyeshadow has got like obvious usage. You can see they are beginning to get little dips. Obviously this one has a bigger dip than the other 7 because it is the focus eyeshadow. I haven't been using this one up here, but I have been using all of the other eyeshadows. Now let's go through the uses for each eyeshadow and say the changes. So the first eyeshadow up here is called Taunt, and I've used this 134 times. I don't think I've used this eyeshadow once since the last quarter. I haven't actually watched back the last video to clarify if I have or not. But at the moment that is at 134 uses. Then we have Sophia, which is sitting at 86 uses. I do believe I've used this a couple of times, but not enough, to make any obvious more change. And then we've got this one here, Whipped, 144, Undressed at 105. I don't think I've touched those 2 eyeshadows. Then we've got my focus eyeshadow, which is this one, which is 51 uses. This is the eyeshadow I use as my base, and then I usually mix it up. So when I do my eyeshadow in the morning, I then go and then once it's covered with both eyeshadows, I then put on as my base shadow. And yeah, I've been really loving doing that, and it's been a great way of getting more progress quicker in this palette, because I was finding it was just getting a little bit slow. Then we've got 12 uses on Icon, 12 uses on Basic Instinct, Coconut Grove, Centerfold, Calendar Girl, Faster Pussycat, and Unbuttoned. All have got 12 uses. So I've been really good at keeping them consistent. So when I go and do my makeup tomorrow, I'll be using Barley, and then I'll go straight on to using it with Icon. So I'll use these 2 eyeshadows together, and yeah, I mean, you can't really tell it in this eyeshadow look, but I have used them as the base eyeshadow. But then I did put blue on top of it, so it is not as obvious. But yeah, it's been a really good setting palette to use. Really blendable still. So when you first put it on, it's a little bit scary because it's quite a dark eyeshadow, this shade is. But then when you blend it out a little bit, it's quite usable and really easy to work with. So progress going forward, I would say we are probably about a quarter of the way through to getting pan on this one. So a long way to go. And if I do hit pan on this, then that means, like, if I think it's a quarter way through, 51 uses, it's probably going to take me like 200 uses to finish pan on this, which is quite scary. That is a long time to go. So overall, I should mention that we have reached 604 uses in total. When you add all of those uses together, we get to 604. So we are over halfway, and yeah, we are slowly creeping up there. I definitely think we will be reaching the 1,000 goal before the pan goal, and I'm okay with that. I have decided as well that after this project, I will do this again with another palette. I think I'll probably like random generate the palette just for some fun, and then work from there. I do like this challenge. It's nice to work on the same palette every single day, and I kind of don't realise or don't really like take it in that how much has changed since the last quarter. But like sitting down here and filming this is the first time I've really acknowledged that every single eyeshadow now looks like it's been used. Like, this was not like this in the last update. These did not look like they had been used. I think in the last update I may have used them like 2 or 3 or 4 times or something like that. So very, I mean, 12 times is a lot more, it's not that much more, but 12 times is enough to make it look like they are being used, which I think is really nice. I do hope that as they are shimmers, that they will be easier to hit pan on. So I'm kind of hoping that by doubling up, it makes it happen faster. Because I do find that when I am using them, the shimmers are much more softer. So maybe that's why, in theory, if I think about it, maybe that's why I'm seeing the usage showing through a lot quicker than I did with the other eyeshadows on the top 2 rows. No, top 2 rows? Top row on this row than I am on these 3 shadows at the top. Which one do I think will be panned first? I think it will be this shade here, because it's got a bigger dip than the others. I can see it's got like a good dip going on, so I think it'll be either of the 2 in the middle row. The eyeshadow I think is going to have the least usage on it, or the least maybe not the least usage, but the least progress, the least looking like it's being panned, will be this one, because it's so dark. I don't really use much of it when I pick it up, so that's why, I mean, you can see it's being used, but yeah, we shall see. I can't believe it's been 18 months since I started this project. This is probably going to go well over 2 years working on this palette. So very long term, but I'm quite enjoying my long term projects more at the moment than my short term monthly like projects. That's probably one of the reasons why I've not picked up my project pan as of yet, because I'm like, it's not like, well, to be fair, actually my project pan, that's not a good comparison, because that's still quite long term, but yeah. Anyway, that is my update. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you guys on Sunday for my next video. Bye guys.